Alright guys, so this is my bronzer collection. It is not that big. So let's just start. We're going to start with these two that I know I'm going to declutter. These are two really old MAC bronzers. This one, I think both of them honestly were limited edition too. So this one right here, I actually used a lot of this when I was in high school and college. This was in the shade Refined Golden, and I don't know if you can tell, but there's like gold specks in this too. This is just so old, like I need to just get rid of this. So this is getting decluttered. Okay, my daughter just put lipstick on this. Anyway, okay, so this is the other one that I'm going to declutter for sure. This is in the shade Soft Sand. This is just so old that like it doesn't even show up on the skin anymore. So I will be getting rid of that as well. Alright, so next up I have this from Temp 2. I believe I got this in a BoxyCharm of some sort. This is just like a liquid shimmer bronzer. I haven't used this yet, but I don't want to declutter it because I kind of want to see what it looks like on the skin, like even like the neck area this summer. Next up I have my NARS Liquid Laguna Bronzer. I really like this. I think this works really well with my dry skin. I like the look that it gives, and like it's not another powder sitting on top of the skin. I use this a lot in the summer when I'm going for like a more no makeup type of look. So really like the NARS Liquid Laguna Bronzer. Next up I have this Alexis Ren ColourPop collab palette. This is the one that has the big bronzer as well as the golden highlight. I use this bronzer in the summer. It's a little dark for me when I am pale in the winter. And then this I don't really use that much. I suppose I could use this as an eyeshadow, but it's just so golden that it's just too dark for my skin tone personally, but I do really enjoy this bronzer in the summertime. Alright guys, next up I have this Tarte Park Ave Princess Mini. It looks like this. I don't know if I've maybe used this on my cheeks one time. I like it. It's just a little bit too dark for me right now, but I'm definitely going to hold on to this and try and use this summer. Then I have this one from the Balm that I just recently picked up. This is their Balm Desert. I've been playing around with this and I do really enjoy it. It definitely sits well on some foundations and not on others, so I have to be really careful with this one, but I have enjoyed it so far. Then I have my Hoola Quickie Stick. This I don't reach for that often simply because it's such a warm color, but I do like to cream contour with this. This is actually in my 2018 Project Pan. I will leave that linked below in case you guys want to watch that. I don't reach for this enough. Just look, that's just too warm sometimes, especially because I have a cooler undertone. So anyway, this is in my Project Pan. I've been really bad about using it, so need to use this some more, but again, this is the Hoola Quickie Contour Stick. Then I have this Bronze Essentials bronzer that I believe I got in a BoxyCharm as well. It looks like this. It has like the highlight shades through the middle, and then you can do like matte bronzers. I'd never reach for this. I should declutter this, but I do kind of want to keep this around just to play around with it before really giving it up, so I will hang on to this for just a little bit. Then I have my Too Faced Chocolate Soleil Mini. I don't even know if I've tried this on my skin yet, but obviously this gets a lot of good reviews, so I'm going to hang on to this guy. Next up I have my Hoola Bronzer Mini. This is also in my Project Pan. I absolutely love this. This is one of my all-time favorite bronzers. Highly recommend. You can see my daughter's feet. Alright guys, next up I have my Wet n Wild contouring palette. This is in Dolce de Leche. The cap on mine actually broke off. I use the contour on this all the time. I don't necessarily use the setting powder as much just because I find it to be a little bit drying for my skin, but I really do enjoy this. I contemplated buying another one and just throwing this one out because I use it so much and this is so annoying, but then I was like, no, that's wasteful. So anyway, really enjoy this. I think it's only like $3.99, maybe $5.99 at the most, and I would highly recommend this. Then I also have the Wet n Wild Color Icon Bronzer in Ticket to Brazil. This is a really pretty lighter bronzer. I can use this on my skin right now, but it definitely does have a sort of like shimmer to it. It doesn't necessarily have gold flecks in it, but it definitely has a shimmer. So I can only use this at specific times, but I do still really do enjoy this bronzer. Alright, and lastly, two more of my favorites. This is the Mira Mira Butter Bronzer. I don't need to say a whole lot about this. This is such an awesome bronzer. So buttery, so beautiful on the skin. Absolutely love this bronzer. And then very similar to that is the Becca bronzer. I have mine in the shade Capri Coast. Again, such a buttery and awesome smooth formula. So beautiful on the skin. I absolutely love this formula, and if anything ever happened to this, I would definitely buy this again. Alright guys, next up we have my blush collection. I'm just going to jump into this right away so that the lights don't shine on it the whole time. This is my Smashbox LA Lights Blush and Highlight Palette. It looks like this. This is also in my project pan, and I've got to be honest, I haven't used it one time since I put it in my project pan. I do love the colors of this, but I do feel like they're more like spring and summertime colors, so I'm holding off until then to use this. I've had this in my collection a pretty long time. This was one of the first blushes and blush palettes that I bought when I was really getting into makeup. I just don't reach for this enough, so. Alright guys, next up I have this Rosy Cheeks Natural Lip and Cheek Gel. I never use this. This was from a BoxyCharm or something. It's just, I never use cream cheek products, and it's so rosy. Like, oh my god, that was like way too much. I'm gonna have to wipe this off really quick, but I'm just gonna declutter this because I'm literally never gonna use this. Okay, that definitely stained my hand. Anyway. Next up I have this NARS Mini. I believe I got this for being a rouge a couple years ago. This is in the shade, is that Ghoul? I don't know how you pronounce that. Bless you. But this is a really pretty darker shade. I never reach for this either, but I'm obviously going to keep this. This is my only NARS blush in my collection, with the exception of one NARS face palette that I have, so that is that shade. This blush is newer to my collection. This is the Laura Geller Baked Blush in Pink Grapefruit. Really pretty blush. I absolutely love this guy. Been enjoying it so far. Sorry guys, this is Pink Buttercream, not Pink Grapefruit. I have this blush that I think I just got in an Ipsy bag. This is by Bang Beauty. Looks like this. Super shimmery. Not sure how much use I'll get out of this, but I'm definitely going to hold on to it for a little bit and play around with it. I have this Makeup Forever mini blush that I got as a 100 point perk. This is currently in my project pan, and I actually have 3 other Makeup Forever blushes that are in a Z palette right now that I didn't pull out for this video, but I really like the Makeup Forever blush formula. I think it's really pretty. You don't have to be, or you can be super light-handed and you still get good pigmentation, so I do really like this blush formula. Then I have 2 of the NYX Ombre blushes. This one is in the shade Mauve Me. I really like this blush, and then I also have this one in Strictly Chic, and I really love this one in the summer. I love these ombre blushes. They are some of my favorite blushes from the drugstore, so would highly recommend these if you're looking for an affordable blush. Then I have this Makeup Revolution, the matte blush. This is just okay, and I have such a light color that, I don't know, this is a really powdery formula. I'm going to hang on to it for a little bit more, play around with it, and maybe declutter it in the future. Not my favorite blush formula, but it's not horrible either. This is in the shade Beloved, by the way. Next I have this Studio Makeup Luminous Loose Blush. I never reach for this either, just because I don't ever reach for loose blushes, but it's a really pretty color, so I kind of want to pull this out and give it a test because I do really enjoy that color. Then I have this really old Clinique blush. I swear my dog is like chewed on the edges here. This is what it looks like. I actually still use this and really like this color. It's in the shade Sunset Glow. I don't honestly know if they even make this anymore. I have a couple of Clinique Cheek Pop blushes, which I will get to, and I really like that formula too, but if you guys can get your hands on this, this is a really pretty color. Then I have my Benefit Rockateur blush. This is one of my first blushes ever. When I first, again, started really getting into makeup, I love, love, love this blush. And I also have the Cheekathon palette by Benefit, which I will get into, that also has this. So I'm half tempted to get rid of it, but if I ever travel and just want to bring this, it's nice just to have the single blush. So I'm going to hang on to it.
Hi, Mommy.
Hi, Zoe. Alright, then I have this Natasha Denona Blush Duo in Sheer Nude. It looks like this. This is so pretty. One of my favorite blushes to use. Would highly, highly recommend. I also want to get more of these. Alright you guys, next on to my Becca blushes. I have 3 of the mineral blushes right here. I have the shades Nightingale, which looks like that. Flower Child, which is just an absolute staple. And then also Songbird, which I absolutely love. I definitely want to get more of these blushes and just have the whole collection because I absolutely love this formula. And then I have one of Becca's Luminous blushes in the shade Songbird, which I also really love. I would say I prefer the mineral formula to the luminous, but I love both. I have this old blush from Mary Kay that I'm going to declutter. This is so old and I never reach for this. Yeah, gonna declutter this. This is in the shade Apricot Breeze. Really pretty color, but just really old. Then I have these two Tarte minis. This is in the shade Partay, which we got the birthday gift from Sephora last year. I love this blush. And then I also have this one, which is in the shade, I believe it's called Concept. It's a really pretty peachy apricot color. Love this. Love the Tarte blush formula. Then I have two of the Clinique Cheek Pops in Fig Pop as well as Ginger Pop. I love the Clinique Cheek Pop formula. Next up, another one of my absolute favorite formulas is the Hourglass formula. This is a mini in the shade Mood Exposure, and this is their Ambient Lighting blush formula. And then I also have their Strobing blush formula in the shade, I think Euphoric Fusion is what this is. Yes, Euphoric Fusion. I love both of these. This gives a really nice sheen that I don't think you'll be able to see. Oh, maybe you can. So you could almost use this as a blush topper. It's so pretty. I want all the Hourglass, everything.
Hi, Mommy.
Then I have this blush from Lorac. It's in the shade Aurora. I love this blush. It's such a pretty color. Really great blush formula. Would highly recommend. This is one of my all-time favorite blushes. Then I have this one from Pixi in collaboration with Aspen Novard. This is in the shade Rome Rose. This one I am excited to use more in the spring summertime when I'm doing like no makeup looks, just because it has a really nice pretty like sheen to it, but it's too glittery or shimmery right now to use in the wintertime in my opinion. So this one's on hold. And then finally I just picked this blush up. This is in the shade Balm Springs by The Balm. The Balm is one of the brands that I said I wanted to try in my 8 brands I want to try in 2018. If you guys want to see that video, I will have it linked below. But this is such a pretty like mid-tone pink-y color with some orange in it. Really, it's going to be really pretty in the summertime. I've used it a couple times. I do really enjoy the formula, love the color, and I'm really excited to try more Balm blushes. Alright guys, next up is my highlights. This is probably my favorite part of my whole makeup collection. So let's just jump into it. First I have these two Lumi True Match Liquid Glow Illuminators from L'Oreal. I don't love these, but I do sort of like them in the summer when I'm not putting any foundation on and just want like a glow to my skin. So I'll keep both of these. I have the shades Golden Door and Ice Glaze. So those are my L'Oreal Lumis. Then obviously I have the Mary Luminizer from The Balm. Such a great highlight. I think this may have been my first highlight ever. So literally obsessed with this. Beautiful. Not a whole lot to say. I'm not going to swatch any of my highlights, you guys, because you literally can never see my highlight swatches anyway. This is pretty new to my collection. This is the Natasha Denona Glow in the shade 1. This is such a pretty highlight. It just makes your skin look wet and like subtly glowy, but so beautiful. I absolutely love this. This has quickly become one of my favorite highlights. Alright, then I have this Bare Minerals Invisible Glow in the shade Invisible Glow. This is, oh sorry, Fair to Light. This is a really powdery highlight, but it is a really subtle highlight. I wear this a lot to work, and I do actually really enjoy this one. Then I have this Bobbi Brown highlight. This is pretty new to my collection as well. This is in the shade Afterglow, which I know you can only get at Sephora. It's just such a pretty golden highlight. I'm really excited to use this more in the summertime when I have more of a tan. I know Bobbi Brown highlights seem to be like hit or miss amongst people, but as far as I can tell, it's a pretty decent formula. So that is my one and only Bobbi Brown highlight. Then I have the highlighter stick by Milk Makeup. This is in Lit. I did not like this when I first got it, but I actually really love this highlight now. I use it when I go to the gym. I just use it on my bare skin. I don't use this with foundation because I found that it will tug away your foundation. So I use this very specifically, but I really do enjoy the Milk Lit stick. Then I have this vintage highlight that I'm sure I got in a BoxyCharm and I've never used. Oh, this is one of the duos. I also have a single by them. I don't know. I never reach for this, but for some reason I just can't get rid of it, even though the shades are a little bit dark anyway. I actually may just declutter it. I have so many highlights in my collection and I just am never going to reach for these. Then I have this Sleek Makeup Quad. I only ever use the cream highlight in this, and I found that the cream highlight really emphasizes my texture, so I haven't used this in a while. I don't know, what do you guys think of the Sleek Makeup highlight? I'm gonna hang on to it, but it's definitely not my favorite. Next up I have this NYX Away We Glow liquid highlighter. I really don't like this. I'm gonna get rid of this. It just does not work for me. I don't know how it could work for anyone. I don't even know why I'm swatching it. It looks pretty, but it just like does not blend out well on my face. I don't know. Let me know, you guys, if you've used this and how you use it, but as of right now, I'm getting rid of this. Alright guys, next up I have my Cover FX Custom Enhancer Drops in Sunlight and Moonlight. I literally am obsessed with these. I have a video reviewing these. I use these a lot more in the summertime, but these are phenomenal, and these are like one of my favorite highlights as well. I'm going to say that about every highlight, but seriously, I love these. Probably my legitimate favorite highlight is my Hourglass Strobing Palette. This is what it looks like. Worth every penny. My favorite highlight palette slash highlight in my collection. Hourglass highlights have some of the best formulas. They just make your skin look wet. It doesn't look like there's a powder sitting on your skin. They're so beautiful. I don't have anything else to say. I love this so very much. Alright guys, then I have this DLS Baked Highlighter in the shade Sunkissed. I've never used this. I'll hang on to it just to give it a go. I have two Becca Minis, both in Opal. I got these, I don't remember, when I was buying Becca stuff at Ulta last summer. I have this NYX Duo Chromatic Illuminating Powder in the shade Lavender Steel. I actually really do like this highlighter. I think it is really good if you're looking for a dupe for the Becca, what do they call the Becca? Prismatic Amethyst highlight. I think this is a pretty good dupe for that. So I do actually really enjoy this. This is newer to my collection. This is the Cover FX Powder Highlight in Moonlight. I really like this so far. Really nice powder highlight. Very intense. I have this MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in the shade Soft and Gentle. This is really old. I feel like I didn't even know what this was when I actually bought this. Like, I didn't know what highlighting was, but I really do enjoy this. I think it's a nice subtle highlight, and I like keeping this in my collection. Then I have this Makeup Revolution Vivid Baked Highlighter in Peach Lights. I really actually like this, and I believe it was only $5 or $6. It is definitely more of like that duo chromatic sort of shifty type of highlight, and it has like a pinky peachy glow, so it's definitely a little bit different, but I really like this highlight. Then I have the Too Faced Candlelit Glow highlight. This was probably my first or second highlight. I can't remember if I bought this or the Mary Luminizer first, but it has the two different sides. I really only ever use this side, but it's a decent highlight. Not my favorite, but I definitely will keep this around. Then I have the Essence Pure Nude highlight. I don't necessarily understand the hype of this highlight. It's okay. It definitely has more of a subtle vibe to it. I wear this more on like work days. Again, this is just okay. I feel like there's better drugstore highlights out there, so I don't necessarily know why this gets so much hype. But yeah, what do you guys think of this highlight? Have you tried it? Do you agree or disagree with me? Then I have this Benefit Watts Up Mini. I don't think I've ever used this. But people, oh, that's actually really pretty. I'm gonna have to give this a try. Yeah. Then I have two of the Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighting powders. I want to get the new one in their Goth collection, but I have Precious Petals and I just picked up Blossom Glow. I haven't even tried this one yet, but this is a really good intense highlight from the drugstore. A nice formula, definitely more on the powdery side, but I do enjoy these. Then here's that vintage single I was talking about. I don't think I've ever reached for this, and this definitely looks more like a blush topper to me than a highlight. I'm gonna get rid of this. I never use this. Alright guys, on to my favorite side. So I have these Algenist liquid drops. I think I got these in a BoxyCharm, Ipsy, something like that. I haven't tried these yet, but I need to because these get so much hype. Then I have 4 Becca highlights. 2 are just like the more regular highlights, if you will. 1 is Prosecco Pop and 1 is Champagne Pop. This is Champagne Pop. Such a staple highlight. Absolutely love this. And then this is Prosecco Pop. This is just a little bit more yellowy than Champagne Pop, but I do love both of them. The Becca formula is one of my favorites. And then I have 2 of their limited edition. I have the Prismatic Amethyst, which I absolutely love, as well as the Lilac Geode, which is also really, really pretty. Oh, I always forget I have this in my collection. This is the Makeup Forever Pro Fusion or Pro Light Fusion in the shade 1. I freaking love this highlight. It is so pretty. I need to pull this out because this is like right up my alley. It's that pink champagne-y silvery color. This is like the highlight color that I always lean towards. This is a fantastic, phenomenal formula, and I freaking love this. 2 more Hourglass highlights. I have 1 in the shade Incandescent Light, which looks like this. Absolutely love. Again, Hourglass is one of my favorite highlight formulas. And then this is in Euphoric Strobe. This is also really, really beautiful. I just love this highlight so much. Then I have this Dior highlight. Oh my gosh, this is in the shade 2. Again, this is like that pink champagne-y silver color that I absolutely love. I just swatched this in a Sephora and like literally walked to every highlight they had in the store trying to find a cheaper alternative to this. I just loved this so much I had to buy it. And then finally I have this Fenty Beauty Duo in Lightning Dust and Fire Crystal. I freaking love this too. This is such an amazing highlight. It's definitely, I feel like, the most subtle that they had in their line, but it's such a good highlight. You have this side, which is more intense, and then this side, which obviously is more subtle, which I wear this to work all the time. So I really love the Fenty Beauty highlight formula as well. Oh my gosh, you guys, it's been a challenge to film this with my daughter being awake. Okay, last but not least, we have my face palettes. Let's just jump right into it. First, I have this e.l.f. blush palette in dark. I actually really like this. You just have to be careful because you can get too heavy-handed really easily with this, but this is a really nice blush formula for a really affordable price, so I do enjoy that. Then I got this LA Girl Spice blush palette a little bit ago, and I really haven't played around with this, so I kind of need to pull this out and see if I like the formula or not. Let me know, you guys, have you tried a lot from LA Beauty? I haven't, so need to play with this a little bit more. Not LA Beauty, LA Girl. Then I have my tried and true Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. I love this. My daughter has dug into this. It's so messy, you guys. Like, that is ridiculous. I just need to replace this at this point. Speaking of, I did buy the Kokie Powder Contour Palette, which is supposed to be a dupe for the Shade and Light, because I wanted to see if it was a true dupe, so then I wouldn't have to spend the money to replace it. This is what it looks like. I literally just bought this, so excited. Zoe! And there my daughter goes digging into it. Excited about this. And then I have my NARS Narcissus palette. Looks like this. You have your highlight, contour, blush shades, and then the NARS Laguna bronzer. I never really reach for this. I should reach for this more often, but yeah. I don't know. I don't... The blush shades aren't my favorite. I do like the NARS Laguna bronzer, but again, I just don't reach for this enough. I actually have a video coming out about high-end products that I don't reach for, and this is one of them. If that video is already up, I will link it below in case you guys are interested. So then I have my Benefit Cheekathon palette. This is the older version. It has Rockateur, Coralisa, Dallas, Dandelion, and Hula. In here, I actually have a mini of this and a full size of this. I actually really like the Dallas blush. I like all of the blushes. I think Benefit has a pretty decent blush formula, so. Then I have this Pure Bronze and Brighten palette that I just got in a BoxyCharm. I haven't played with this. I've just swatched it. Honestly, the colors are so bright and intense that it kind of intimidates me, but we'll see. I've actually seen this in a lot of people's favorites, which I was actually surprised about, but I need to play around with this to actually gain an opinion on it. I also got this Real Her palette in a BoxyCharm. It came shattered. I haven't tried either of these two blush slash like bronzer shades, but it looks pretty, so I will give this a try. I also got this Naked Cosmetics in my BoxyCharm this month. Haven't tried this at all, but I actually really like highlights that are kind of like remind me of space almost, that have like the holographic effect, so I'm excited to give this guy a try. Then I have this Lancome Glow For It trio that I picked up this holiday season. It's a little glittery for me, but I do like it from time to time, so I'm definitely gonna hang on to it, but it definitely is more like, there are definitely flecks of glitter in there, so if you don't like glitter, you wouldn't like this, and I honestly don't know if you can even still get this. I also picked up the Tarte Blush Compact this holiday season. Again, I love the Tarte blush formula. I think it's phenomenal, and I really do enjoy having this in my collection. Then here is my Becca Après-Ski face palette that I picked up this holiday season. I love this palette. I love the highlights, I love the bronzer, I love the blush, I love all Becca face products, you guys, so you just can't go wrong with a Becca face palette. And then I have all of my Anastasia Beverly Hills glow kits. I have the Nicole Guerrero one, the Moonchild, the Aurora, the Sweets, the Sugar, and the Sun Dipped. I freaking love the ABH glow kits. I will forever collect them as long as they keep coming out. I know they are coming out with another, I think like 6-pan one that's going to be similar to the Moonchild and Aurora shades, and I actually find these more wearable than you guys like would imagine just looking at it. I have worn these to work and gotten away with it. So these are, the Aurora and Moonchild are actually some of my favorites out of all of the glow kits. So absolutely love the glow kits. If you're considering buying them, I would highly recommend. You just can't go wrong. So yeah, you guys, those are all of my face palettes, bronzers, blush, and highlights. Stay tuned next week for another makeup collection video. If you have made it till the end, thanks so much for watching. And if you haven't already subscribed, don't forget to do so before you go. And other than that, I'll just see you in my next video. Bye.